This week's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Well, good morning everybody, or afternoon, wherever you happen to be living. Welcome back to another vlog in Scotland. The weather has changed considerably. So the first day was the video that I took last week, and the day after that it just absolutely poured, so pretty much spent the whole day just editing that video and uploading it. And then last night it poured with rain, but of course in the mountains there's a little bit of snow, so the temperature has dropped considerably, so it's quite cold this morning. So behind me here we have quite a bit of cloud cover, but then on this side there's no cloud whatsoever. So I've decided to head back up to the trees I was photographing the other day, and you may recall there was a tree with a couple of boulders, and I want to see if I can redeem myself with that composition, try and get a little bit of light on there. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'd like to give it another go, and of course hopefully find some other compositions. There's lots of great trees in this area, and of course we have the mountains surrounding, so fingers crossed, hopefully we'll get something today. And I'm really looking forward to hiking up into the hills again. All right, now if you guys watched last week's video, you'll recognize this scene. So I'm hiking back up to the tree with the two boulders, and the light it's not bad. It was quite good as I was walking up, but the clouds have moved in. But as I look this way, there's actually light on the mountain, so I'm hoping that there'll be at least a little bit of directional light. And that's what I'm finding with this scene here. I could be imagining things, so I'll have to do a comparison, but I think the light is better today than it was the other day. This twisted tree in the middle here looks more illuminated from the background, so I'm going to give it another quick shot, and I'll put the two up and do a bit of a comparison. Of course you can only really tell from the two raw files, and of course the first file that I took, or the first image, was a JPEG. I guess I could take a JPEG and compare the two and just see if the light's any better. Well, that was a little bit disappointing. I really thought that the light was so different that there was going to be a vast difference in the images. But as you can see, there isn't much difference at all. It's funny how we perceive things when we're standing in an area, and I think a lot of it has to do with how you feel at the time. I quite like the composition in this photograph, but what it really needs is some kind of atmosphere in there. Fog or mist is always great, but you know, you don't get it that often, so you kind of have to make do with what you have. And in this case it really didn't make a huge difference whether I took the photograph the evening before or that morning. There's a slight color difference in the photographs, but other than that they're pretty much the same. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. Wasn't looking good there, and then as you can see, the sun has come out. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the mountains in the background there have a nice dusting of snow. Beautiful, and it's so warm. So I got to the tree with the rocks, and I didn't record video because when I got there the light it wasn't bad. But as it got better, I realized that it was quite front lit and the sun was behind me, so it was casting a shadow. So that is going to be a little bit of a problem. But as I stand here now, I'm looking to the side of it, and that looks like a good angle as well. But of course right now the light is just a little bit too harsh. In the meantime, there's some trees down here that are kind of side lit and also front lit, and the light isn't great on the actual trees, but it's great because the background doesn't have any light, so it has a beautiful contrast. So I'm going to concentrate on individual trees with light on them and try and separate them with kind of just trees in the background without light, so they really pop forward. Like right now I can see a tree over here that looks really quite nice with side light on it, but there's nothing else. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on, and if I come up with anything, I will post them right now, and yeah, we'll just keep waiting and observing and seeing what's happening with the light here. As I look for this way into the sun, there's a few trees that are backlit as well, so that's quite nice. So perhaps I can put a long lens on and zoom into those. So there's lots of potential here. It's just a matter of sticking it out and really kind of concentrating on what's happening with the trees up here. Absolutely beautiful day in Scotland. Yeah, I'm really happy to actually see the mountains this year.
Once again, I'd like to thank Squarespace for supporting my channel and sponsoring this week's video. One of my favorite features of a Squarespace website is the ability to quickly and efficiently update a gallery or page either from a desktop computer or while on the fly using the Squarespace app from my mobile device. Loading multiple images onto a page is quick and offers the ability to change a design or page quickly and elegantly without any coding knowledge. Want to sell your products? No problem. Setting up shop is also quick and intuitive. Sound interesting? Why not head over to squarespace.com and try it for free? And if you like what you find, use the code AdamGibbs for 10% off your first purchase.
All right. As you can see, the skies have cleared right up. So where I was waiting for the light, it's just not going to happen today. Actually, as I was standing there, the sun has gone behind the ridge, so a lot of the sun has gone off the tree, and of course the background is still quite bright. So it didn't look all that great. So, but I did manage to get some I think, some really great shots of side-lit trees and backlit trees with my long lens. So that was really great to put on a 1.4 teleconverter on the 1:200, and then just pinpoint individual trees or groupings of trees that were nicely backlit. So I'm really excited about those images. But I did notice that the sun is still in the valley here, so I've rushed down the hill and I'm just trying to find some quick shots before the sun is totally gone. And this grouping of trees here struck me straight away because they're very graphic and they're quite separated from one another. So where I'm standing now is more or less the composition that you can see in the video right now, where I have 3 of the prominent trees that are kind of twisted, and all I've done is just make sure that they're not touching one another, so they have individual, so they're not overlapping. So I have the one on the right, this dominant one in the middle, a little bit of the top of the one in the background without the mountain, and then the one that on the right that's kind of leaning over to the left. So I think it makes a really great graphic image. The light is a little bit harsh, but what I might do is convert this to black and white, because I think the graphic nature will pull it through. So we just have the blue sky and then the graphic trees, and that's pretty much it. It's quite simple. So I think it'll look good. So here it is now, and let's go and see if we can find some other images before the sun is gone. Well, I'm slowly making my way back to the car, and the light is just beautiful right now. We're getting some beautiful reflections of the peaks here, and just along the road here there's these trees on the side here. So what I've decided to do is have just the branches with the reflection behind. And for some of the images I'm using an ND64 just to smooth out that water a bit. And of course there is a bit of movement in the branches, but it's kind of an interesting effect, I think. So I'll take some with and some without just to make sure. But oh, just gorgeous. And there's a bit of cloud accumulation on the top of the peaks there. What a gorgeous afternoon. It's kind of redeemed from yesterday, because yesterday wasn't that great.
Well, thank you once again, everybody, for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to give me the old thumbs up if you enjoyed the photographs. And as always, if you'd like to support my channel in other ways, I have lots of items for sale on my website, including hats, woolly hats, books, calendars, and so on. So be sure to go and check those items out. Right, until next week, bye-bye.